Hey everyone, today I'm going to talk about a crucial situation that can happen while driving, when a driver's feet slip on the pedals. I'll explain why this is dangerous and how to prevent it. Let's get started. What inspired me to make this video was a story from one of our channel subscribers. They shared an experience where, while driving, they needed to brake suddenly. When they tried to hit the brake pedal hard, their foot slipped. At that exact moment, a pedestrian stepped out onto the road, which was the reason for the emergency braking. The subscriber, who was a new driver, said they nearly hit the pedestrian because of this. Their foot slipped, and if it had been just a split second later, this novice driver might have hit the pedestrian. The second similar story involves driving a manual transmission car. When a driver is working the clutch, their foot might slip while pressing or releasing it. This can cause the car to stall, lurch forward, or even roll backward. In these situations, a beginner driver often panics and doesn't know what to do. The most dangerous situation, of course, is when we, as drivers, suddenly need to brake in an emergency. Someone might jump out onto the road unexpectedly. It doesn't really matter why. And you hit the brake, but your foot slips on the pedal. Now, what could cause this to happen? A driver's foot slipping on the car pedals most often occurs when there's moisture involved. It could be because the sole of your shoe is damp, but it can also happen when the pedals or the soles of our shoes. Let's say there's been some kind of chemical spill. Maybe there was a traffic accident or someone doing repairs spilled something. It could be any oily substance, antifreeze, motor oil, whatever. The point is, we often don't pay attention to where we're stepping, so we might accidentally step in this stuff. Then we get in the car and press the pedal. Now our shoe sole is rubber and the pedal cover is also rubber. Normally this should provide good traction, but now there's a layer of this oil or chemical between them. So what happens? Slipping can happen, especially in winter. It might be due to a snowdrift. Speaking from personal experience, I've had a couple of incidents. You're in a hurry, you get into the car, and you forget to shake the snow off your feet. You start the car, press the clutch, and your foot slips because there's a chunk of snow or ice on the sole of your shoe. Based on this information, what can we do to avoid slipping? The key is to make sure that when you get into the car, there's nothing stuck to the soles of your shoes. Shake off your feet thoroughly and that should do the trick. Now we can't escape the moisture, but if you've gotten into some oil, we're in the same boat. You won't be able to shake it off easily. So in my opinion, under the seat, especially in winter, when there's a lot of water and snow, there should be a clean, dry cloth. This is so you can wipe your feet if needed and even wipe the pedals dry. This is very important. I personally use this advice myself, and it comes in handy several times a year. In general, when I get into the car, I advise you to do the same. Once you've started, move your feet like this on the pedals. You'll immediately feel if there's any slipping. If you've stepped in some oil, you'll notice it right away. While the engine's warming up, wipe your shoes with this dry cloth. Lay the cloth on the floor mat and wipe off any gunk from under your feet. If that doesn't help, and sometimes it doesn't, you can always degrease the rubber on the car pedals. It's a good idea to keep a spray can in your kit. It's called a degreaser. Just spray it on the sole of your shoe and the pedal and problem solved. Another issue that affects slipping is when the rubber on the pedal is really worn down. If you look closely, there's a pattern on it, like the tread on a car tire. Often when a car is old, this is one of the signs. The pedal becomes smooth. If your shoe sole is also relatively smooth and damp, with moisture between the pedal and the sole, there's also a risk of slipping. And there's more. But I notice this especially with beginners, improper pedaling. When a student presses the pedals with their toes instead of the ball of the foot, where our toes connect to the foot, that's incorrect. Yes, and the foot can slip off the pedal at any moment. So, we need to press the pedal correctly. Also, make sure the pedal isn't covered in any slippery substances like oil or anything else. Keep a dry, clean cloth under your seat and always have a degreaser in your car. It might come in handy not just for this, but for other purposes too. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and give this video a like. As always, I wish you all safe travels. Bye bye everyone.